Hi everybody, this is Jenny C. I'm doing, as I promised you guys on Twitter, um, the review of Flash Season 1 episodes 1 through 6. I am slowly going through Season 1, trying to prepare for Season 2. I might review Empire or Gotham. It's kind of up in the air right now. As soon as I figure it out, I'll let you guys know. So let's get straight to it. Let's start off with what I really liked. I really loved Barry Allen, the lead, who's played by Gary Gustin, right from the moment I saw his little face. When he was like the little kid running away from the bullies, I really just like, my heart went out to him like straight off. I also, love how adorkable he is and how cute he is, and he's trying so hard to make things right and to fight for what he believes in, even before he became the Flash. And he makes him a really likable character, more so than I would say Oliver McQueen, or Oliver Queen. Is it McQueen or Queen? I think it's Queen. Oliver Queen, who I didn't like from the very first episode. I didn't really like, and because he was very unrelatable. He was a rich party playboy, and he's supposed to have changed, but the change that he did do was for the worse and not for the better, and so he was really unrelatable to me, and it really is one of the reasons I couldn't continue to watch into Season 2. But Flash with Barry, he's much more relatable even before he becomes the Flash, once again, as I said. And he really wants to prove that his father's innocent of his mother's murder, and he wants to bring the real murderer to justice. And he, against ridiculously huge odds, he continues to to investigate his parents, his mother's murder, and to release his father. Even when everybody's telling him that he's crazy or he just made it up, he continues to do that, and that made him instantly relatable to me. And then going into when he becomes the Flash, he really is a moral character. He's more lighthearted than Arrow, but he's actually he sticks to his morals as much as he can. He listens to his team for the most part. He does get in arguments with them, and he sometimes does what he wants to do. For the most part, he listens to his team. He's willing to listen to other people's input and advice, unlike Oliver. And I also love his relationships with the law, because even as a vigilante, he actually works as a forensic scientist, but he also works in tandem with the law with Joe, who's a cop. He works with them. I really like that. As one of my biggest issues with Arrow, and I don't know that later that he works with Detective Lance, but for the first season, he really doesn't work at all with the law. But Barry does, and he doesn't play judge, jury, and executioner. Although there is some points that he almost crosses that line, he doesn't. I love what makes him, to me, likable is that he has a moral code, and he does his damnedest to stick to it, and I really like that. It's a real change from Arrow, and I really like that a lot. He's also funny. He's hilarious. I love his sense of humor. I mean, and the way that he sort of dorks out over things, and I very much like characters who are kind of dorky and geeky, because I'm kind of dorky and geeky, and they're easily related to. So I really like that as well. Let's see. Let's see. Oh God. Let's talk about Iris. Iris, who is the obvious love interest to Barry. They're best friends. They grew up together, quite literally grew up together. He has a crush on her, but she doesn't see him that way. It's that old sort of cliche. I love that she's headstrong, and again, just like Barry, they're sort of cut from the same cloth. That they, against all really difficult odds, she goes and she fights, and she does what she believes in, and she lives by that. And even when everybody's telling her to stop, even when it obviously puts her in danger, she continues to do what she thinks is right. And I really like that. She has a really head of. Ooh, she has a real good head on her shoulders, and you can tell. I like that she's sassy, and that she calls Barry on his bullshit, even when no one else will. She's like, she calls him on his bullshit every time, and I love that. I love that how she balances out Barry, and I love their friendship more than anything else. I love their friendship together. Another character I love is her father, Joe. Joe West, Detective Joe West. He raised Barry after Barry's father was convicted of his mother's death. He raised Barry and taught him, to be a good person, and basically made Barry who he was. He covers for Barry a lot, especially when Barry does stupid shit, or he kind of, fucks up a job or something, fucks up at work. He covers for Barry, and he tries to protect Barry as much as he can. At first, he was very sort of like against Barry doing what he was very much against Barry being the Flash, but in the end, he sort of, instead of letting that be what breaks their relationship, he stands up and supports Barry in his efforts. I think there's a couple of things I don't like about the whole sort of issue with the way he supports Barry, but we'll talk about that more in the dislikes. But for the most part, I love seeing first of all, a black man who is a single father, and who's a great father at that on television. You don't see that often, and so I love that. I love Joe just for that, but I also love that you can see that in every episode that he's trying his damnedest to do the right thing, just like Barry, just like Iris, and he's fighting against very hard odds, and he's having, I don't know how he's going to deal with Iris being targeted by Barry's mother's killer, but even then, when he's faced with really big odds against him, when he's going against someone like West, Dr. West, not Dr. West, but Dr. Allen, or not Dr. Allen, what's his name? Let's see, what's his name? Dr. Wells, thank you. When he goes against Dr. Wells, he does it at very great disadvantage to himself, and I love that. I love the sort of the courage that each of the characters have throughout the series. My favorite, of course, is Cisco. I love seeing a Latino actor who's also smart and charismatic, and just a really great character. It's one of the reasons that I really love of this show is that they have such great representation for people of color. They do not skimp on the people of color, and I really love that. Cisco is sort of Barry's Q to Barry's Q. He does all the gadgets. He makes the suits. He's really good. But he's laid back, and he's sort of Jew bro, and I really just love his character. And I don't even know how to say it. I just really love the way that his character adds to the plot, and it's just like really great representation, and I really just love his character all around. What I didn't like. I didn't like Dr. Wells. I at first thought I liked Dr. Wells because he came off as very sympathetic, even though he kind of was responsible for all of what he's done. He sort of took that he's done to Central City. He sort of stood up and said, okay, I'm going to do something, or I'm going to help this boy that I was responsible for getting killed, and that made him sort of like likable in that way. and then also because of the wheelchair, you can see that he's paid in spades for his actions with the particle accelerator. But then as the series goes on, we start to realize that yes, he can walk, and B, he's murderous. I mean, he killed a character to protect Barry, and that's all good, band and dandy. But that doesn't escape the fact that he's killed somebody. You know, there could have been other avenues where he could have just, where he could have, where he could have. There could have been avenues or decisions that he could have made, but he decides to kill someone to protect Barry. But you know, I don't. There's also some insinuation that he has his own agenda for Barry. That he doesn't do it because he believes in Barry's mission. He has his own agenda. It's just, and then the way that Tom Cavanaugh plays him, he's really, really creepy. The way that he smiles and the way that he talks, it's just really, really creepy. There's something about him that really doesn't sit well with me. Other than the fact that he's obviously holding back secrets from what do you call it, from Barry and from everybody else, and also Caitlin's into it. I mean, it's really like, he's really creepy, and I really don't trust him, and I want to know how his storyline is going to play out in the end of the season. No spoilers, guys. I know what you're about to say. No spoilers, please. Who else I want to talk about that have issues? Caitlin, I don't really have like huge issues with her because she's more like a side character who doesn't really do a lot. I mean, she has speaking parts, but she just comes off as very sort of boring and bland and two-dimensional. So that's my only real issue, is that she's not really, you know, more, which is a kind of disservice to Danielle Panabaker. I'm thinking I'm saying her last name right. You know how I am with last names, guys. I always mess that up. But I loved her in Sky High. She's always, and she's done really great work since then. But this role is not doing anything to help her. Not really. Because Danielle's just dry. I just like really just dry. There's some issue that she might become become a villain, called that the original comic character Caitlin Frost was called Killer Frost, and that she might eventually become that. That would be a big, huge blow to Team Flash. But at this moment, till she either becomes a villain or, you know, do something else, she's just very much like in the periphery of things, and that's kind of just a disservice to Danielle Panabaker, definitely. The westallen stuff, I think 90% of fandom is westallen shippers, and I'm kind of in the odd man out, where I really don't give a hell, 2 shades of hell of westallen. I mean, I don't really see them like that. Maybe because they remind me so much of Harry, Hermione and their relationship, and I don't ship them either. I mean, they feel very much like brother and sister more than love interests, and the show's trying to push that really hard and really unsubtly, and I'm like, I don't feel that. But I think it's going to eventually just cave into the fan service and actually just go ahead and do westallen. I don't really like how they're doing it. I mean, I think it's kind of weird that they grew up together and they were basically raised by the same man as brother and sister, yet y'all pushing westallen so hard. And I know I feel like a hypocrite because I am like, I've done incest ships a lot. I've done wincest, and I've done incest when it comes to Boondock Saints, and I just like, but that's rarely, and it's got to be really implicit in the canon text. And before Castiel came on, it was really explicit to me. But I don't really see that, and I don't really see that with them. It's weird. It feels like that. It's also sort of like a disservice almost to women, because it says to me that women and men can't be friends, or can't have that friends relationship. They must always be a love interest. CW has that bad, where women cannot just be friends with the male lead or with other men in the cast. They always got to be together with somebody, and it's like almost like a disservice to young girls, and giving them that same message that they do not have any value unless they are with a guy, and really is pushing that sort of message, and I really don't like that. I honestly think that Iris and Barry are better off as friends than anything else. I don't really see them together like that, but again, y'all can ship whatever you want. The problem with Barry, I think, is that he has such great chemistry with everybody. I mean, I was, especially with Felicity, and I'm like, oh my God, they had so much great chemistry on screen, and and they so much similar, and I was really hoping that they would get together, because I'm not a Felicity shipper at all. I believe that Felicity is too good for Oliver, and she needs to just sort of drop him and keep on rolling. And Barry is so much better than Oliver in every way. And I was like, you need to just jump on that and call it a day. And they didn't, and I was kind of sad they didn't go there. They only went there for like a minute to go back to the westallen. I was like, I'm just not feeling the westallen, and I'm like, if you guys ship it, that's fine. I just not feeling it. Who else? Also, let's talk about Joe a bit, because as much as I love Joe, there's a couple things I have issues with. I have issues with the way that he is sort of really he's really overprotective, and I get that as his baby girl and his only daughter, and I get that as a parent, but he doesn't seem to realize that she's an adult. And yes, she may live with him, but she is an adult, and she can think for herself, and she has her own opinions and her own mind, and that she can make her own decisions. I think the whole let's keep Iris out of it is stupid, because she's still in it. She's not going to drop it, as obviously by episode 6. She's not going to drop the whole streak blogging thing. So just, I feel like it was just a stupid storyline. They could have just told her, and it would have caused so much crap. Also, I think she would have added so much more to Barry. Cut off a lot of points of stress for him, but also she has resources as a journalist, as a budding journalist. She has resources. She's got to have resources. She's got to have her ear to the ground. She has something to add to Team Allen, and not Team Allen, but Team Flash, and I don't understand why they went through this route as well. Also, I think that they're cribbing too much from different comic fandoms. I mean, the whole, let's, blur my face and talk to her on the roof, and as my masked persona, while having this big crush on her, is sort of cribbing from Superman a lot. I mean, Superman did that all the time with Lois Lane, and I'm getting more and more feelings of Lois Lane, that she always has to be sort of the damsel in distress. She always has to be sort of a Superman's weak link, because everybody's going to go after her, because she is his obviously his obvious weakness, and it just feels like very much like they're cribbing. And it's for all the from Arrow to Legends of Tomorrow, from the Flash. They seem too much like they are, instead of sort of taking and sort of reinventing things from their own specific canons and comic books, that they are taking it from other people's comic books. They're taking it. I mean, to me, I think it was episode 5, felt very much like they were cribbing from the Hulk. Like, I mean, honestly, I was thinking that the guy who's playing the general, who I called the Kurgan on Twitter, because he did play the Kurgan in the original Highlander movie, that he, could have been basically as a ripoff of General Ross. And I'm just like, Why are you cribbing so much from Marvel, from Superman, from Batman, and yet you guys don't even, especially for the DC Comics stuff, they are not sort of acknowledging that Superman or Batman exists. Yet I hear that Arrow is going against Ra's al Ghul, and I hope I'm saying his name right. You know, the leader of the Brotherhood of Assassins, the Brotherhood, the leader of the Assassins, and one of Batman's main nemesis in canon. I mean, most recently, I would think in Batman Begins and Dark Knight Returns. So I'm like, you know, I'm really tired of DC television shows cribbing from other comics canons. As a Batman fanatic that I am, it really just pisses me off. I mean, I was just incensed when I heard about Ra's al Ghul's appearance. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck is wrong with you? Just stop robbing from other people's comic canon and worry about your own comic canon, or better yet, have the creativity to make up your own sort of villains. I mean, if there's not enough, you know, source material from the original comic books, make up your own villains, but stop cribbing from other people's comic canons. Let's see. All in all, Flash is so much better than Arrow. It really is. I really love it. I love that they have people of color. I love that Iris and Barry's friendship, although they're pushing for more. I love like all the extra characters like Eddie Thorne, who I didn't really like in the first episode, but as it went on, he went on to be awesome. I'm really hoping to see what the end of the season brings, because I really want to know what's going on with Wells. And I will be continuing to be watching it, especially into season 2, because I want to know. I've been kind of a little bit spoiled that I know that several couple of people are coming back next season, so I'm like, I hope that I can that it carries on this great writing, because it does have really great writing overall into the second season. So I will continue to be watching the show. Y'all guys need to check out my Twitter, because I will always be live tweeting the episodes on Twitter. I might actually make up my own hashtag. I don't know. I guess that's it. Thank you guys so much for all the well wishes about my grandmother and the condolences. I will see you. So I think that's it. That's all I have to say. I will be seeing you next time. And see you. Bye. Get out of here. Bye.